Hi, welcome to Ocean Yemi's channel. So today, because it's been a whole lot of stuff that's going on since the Trump's been put into power, now I was having a conversation with people on my community tab, and there's lots of people. I also showed the Guantanamo Bay where they said they're gonna put 3 million or 3,000, 3 million people in the Guantanamo Bay. Now, my thing on this, and I like that there was not one sub. Actually, there's two subs who actually I was having conversation with in the community tab, and it's interesting because everybody looks at things a little different sometimes, and and what was said was that how the criminals expect the rapists to be put in Guantanamo Bay, which is true. I believe that should happen, but to me, it's when it's got the children and it's got people who got their status there, who did it by the book, went through the process of becoming legal in the country, and they're working there and they're not doing nothing wrong. Some of them escaping from all sorts of things because all sorts of things happen why people run to countries, why some people migrate because of money, economical reasons, and all sorts. So to me, it's like when it's involving certain aspects, because coming from a Caribbean background, right, my grandmother, I would say, was invited to England to work because, like, they did put out a call for West Indians to come work in England, and I don't know if it's the same for the Americas, but to me, when I see people who's trying to play things by the book, then all of a sudden you get scooped up by ICE. Now, during the weekend, there was like a march that was going on. At first, it was said it was a remigration march, right? And then afterwards, it was said that it was a Tony Robinson march. Now, fascism never dies. No, fascism and racism never dies because it comes in all different aspects and all different ways. And it seems like even if you bring something to a country, sometimes because of certain ignorances and certain backwards thinking, a lot of people don't see people or see them all the same, like as criminals. Like over here, one of the things was they're coming to get our jobs, they're coming to get our women. So they used to put out a sign that says no Irish, no dogs, no blacks. Now in America, a lot of things used to go on in America. America has a steep history of racism in all sorts of capacity. And Donald Trump is one of the factors in which he was part of the racism in America. Now, I know there is people who is for him, right? And I'm not saying that how you shouldn't be for a person. Yes, Obama messed up a couple times and all that, but when it is aimed at a particular people, and we all know from Rwanda and other countries how bad it can get, because then it gets to a case of when people are unaliving people, there's mobs, whatever. And the fact that how most of the South Americans, because South Americans has picked up, some Jamaicans was deported back to Jamaica. And in Jamaica, when you go to Jamaica, which is the point I was trying to make the other day, if you go to Jamaica with a certain accent, right, you are liable to get targeted. It's happened before, where like They go. Sometimes some of them are destitute, whatever, and like there's all them factors to consider. Now, as much as yes, there is people who come through the illegal route to come to countries. It happens over here, or they come through Dover. But bear in mind that how right they don't go through, they don't fall through the cracks. It looks like they fall through the cracks because, like, remember at one point they was going to put them on a barge and ship them to Rwanda. Rwanda is not, to me, can house all the people that they was planning to ship to Rwanda. And the fact that they was in a ship that looks like a prison ship, that really bothered me as well. And the size of the rooms, at first they made it out, oh, they're going to be sleeping in luxurious spaces and all this stuff. Now, when you research the size of the ship, the purpose of the ship, and what it's there for, and all sorts of things, is two different things. And this is where I feel that how a lot of the racism comes in, because in America as well, in America considerably as well, like it's like from the time you are targeting products, taking products out of shops, anybody with an accent, they're out of there. Even to the point that even I think it's Czar, CZAR. Even what he says is crazy. Like when I was looking up some stuff yesterday, I came across the person who created Czar, and even him. Like there was even a Latino, and she was saying that she's for Trump, and she was showing that how she would unalive people who is migrants by basically an kind of assassination kind of thing, torturing tactic. And when it gets dangerous like that for people, that's when it's wrong. Because now, and especially if we know from countries like Rwanda, particularly when they had a genocide, and that's why I'm saying it's a genocide, it's based on the facial structure, it's based on different things. And though it was black people against black people, it was so bloody, right? And this is what I feel is going on in America, and the levels of which it can go as deep as to, as much as it going for your birthright, then it's going to asking you how American you are. It's the same thing over here. How English are you? It could go to levels of that, and that's when it gets dangerous. Now, when you see that how people is not coming to, or children is not coming to schools, people are not walking on streets, bear in mind that how some of the immigrants work bloody hard. Hi, Alexander. The immigrants work hard because there is a video where they're at a fast food restaurant and people's waiting for the food. They was moving very slow, right? Some immigrants will do the lowest. They get paid the lowest amount of money, and they would work. They will be the cleaners, the street cleaners, the maid, the not the maids, the umpires, the housekeepers. You know, they will do jobs that most people wouldn't even want to do, right? So I look at it like that as well. Now, I have actually spoken to my friend who is kind of, she's in another country, and I've done a little bit on her, and it is gotten to so much levels. But even with the DEI, right, it is diversity, inclusion, intervention. There's even questions around that. So you basically don't want to say minority, right? The year is going to be a very interesting year. You basically don't want to say minority, right? You want to put a word. You want to put a word that makes it easier for you to digest. Um, I know that the people big up Donald Trump and said that how he does all these great things, and I think human trafficking was one, but he's also done very bad things as well. Like I'm trying to be very open minded in how I'm talking because I know that a lot of people is for Donald Trump and all that, and like with his history that he had, because I remember the Central Five and the part he had to play in it. So I'm just like this, but me, I will try to look in it a bit differently because I see it both sides. Plus, I've been around some of the migrants who want to work. They'll be in training spaces trying to get jobs. They'll be outside lining up for a truck to pick them up to go to building sites. They'll be like as much like they also bring foods which they create and they make like restaurants, takeaways. So instead of you traveling to the country's already in your in your in your country. And like I said before, yes, people come over illegally, and it's not good that they do that. But there's some who go through the processing so that they can become legal in the country. I have to go see that organization that you're talking about because the czar one. There's a guy who runs the czar. Let me see if I can find it. And he said that how he wants to hunt down the immigrants and unalive them. All right. And he's part of the one who's running the the things for the to get immigrants out of the country. Now, can I find all my searches? I bet I can't. You're looking for all your searches. It's something else. Right. Let me see if I can find my searches. Let's see if I can find my searches. So I found a whole lot yesterday. Now, the guy who runs Zora is a bit of a Gestapo. I call him a Gestapo. And I'm all for getting out the bad guys. Yes, I am. Yes, get the bad guys out. I'm not going to say don't get the bad guys out. But when people's making certain statements, you have to look at them sideways. Like, it's like repeating of the past and all that palaver. It's got to come into mind. And America is one of those places. It can be like England, can be a very hostile place when it needs to be. So I'm gonna get to information, man, because he made some points as well. I mean, fair enough. If they are criminals, yes, yes, get them, yes. But when it comes to children and all the other ones or whatever, children who doesn't know better, who's scared to go to school and all that, that's when it gets serious to me. That's when it gets serious. Like even when a guy walked down New York, he walked down New York, the streets were clear, quiet. New York is it's gonna come out. See, if they're criminals, fair enough. Now, there's one I wanted to look at. Because people enter the country illegally, but there's ones who literally take a plane, reach where they have to go, and all that. All my searches, I can't remember where all my searches is gone. And Interpol just got a Jewish man just the other day for trafficking ring. Now that's good. Now that I understand. That I get. Let me see. Right. Because Information Man was making sense yesterday. I tuned into him.
We're not a part of the World Health Organization. If we have another pandemic, we're in a world of crap. But I want you to hear what this man has to say, and then I'm gonna play a video of the president of Canada. We're gonna talk about Al Sharpton. We're gonna get to Latinos or Spanish-speaking people that are crying out for Black people to assist them because they didn't think that Trump was gonna do this, which is deport them. They're upset because they're seeing their family members being deported. When you mess around like this, you get stupid prizes. Let me let y'all hear this right here. Check it out.
When you watch that, you have to be able to see how the A National OCGFC are operating and why Trump is their man. I mean, I've been telling you for 3 years, going on 3 years, that there's a destabilization campaign against Europe. That's what the Ukraine war actually is.
Check this
out. It's a proxy war being waged by the United States. It's not against Russia, but against Europe. I've been telling you that they're turning on each other. The West is turning on itself. I've been telling you that America is going to become more and more interested in creating conflict in the West, not in the global South.
That is exactly what's about to take place right now with the tariff war between Mexico now and Canada. This is not good for us as people in America, and Black people. It definitely ain't good for us because economically, we don't have generational wealth to sustain these things. We're talking about gas prices going up. We're talking about vital products that we need in this country, aluminum, minerals, fruits. Wait until I read some things to you about, and this goes hand in hand with the show today, okay? I guarantee you'll be blown away by some of the things I'm going to present to you about all subject matters that you see on that thumbnail and on the title of this video today. Make sure you share this video in all your social media. Let people know, get more people over here, share it out. You can share it out by hitting the share button on your cellular phone, your desktop, your laptop, whatever you're using. And you can share it to Facebook right now. You can share it to Twitter right now, because the things that I'm about to tell you is very important. I don't waste a lot of time on my YouTube channel with BS, not on this particular channel. We're doing real talk over here, real work over here about the issues. So even though a lot of Black people are happy that Donald Trump is getting illegals out of here, and that's why I think some Black people did vote for Trump. It wasn't a majority of Black people that put him in office. We're going to talk about who's responsible for putting him in office. It wasn't Black people. Don't get caught up in all of that. Well, it was Black men. No, Black men still voted for the Democratic Party in high numbers. Black women still voted for the Democratic Party in high numbers. It was white women. We're going to put up those stats in a little bit. It was white women, Latino, Spanish-speaking men, white men are the majority that put this man in office. And then you had a sprinkle of Black people who turned away from the Democratic Party. The Democrats are a complete mess. They have a lack of leadership. There is no leadership in the Democratic Party. But let me let you hear the rest of it, what this man is saying here.
I've been telling you that the historical roles of the global North and the global South are going to be reversed. Mm-hmm. Didn't I tell you that? Well, look at the last Trump press conference. Mm-hmm. He's talking about destroying Canada economically. He's talking about trying to force them into submission. That's what all this talk is really about. He's talking about making the whole country into an American state. And he's talking about doing the same thing with Greenland. Except with Greenland, he even said that they might use military.
Yeah, I call it an embargo. I put it similar to Cuba because of what he's doing. He's saying about talking about products that are coming in into America, certain products that can't be sold in America, this, that, and the other, which is the same thing what happened in Cuba. There was a whole embargo where like Cubans could not access certain things from outside of Cuba. And he is it seems like he's taken things off of shelves like Target, Walmart, is taking off products off of the shelves. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? And like when it gets to those levels, now you really have to think now where you stand in a place, especially if you're born over there, and all this is happening. They need to. I mean, Black history. You can do Black History all year round. To me, there is no month for Black History. Really, you can do that all year round. So it's just, you can create Black History in your house at any time. I don't think you need a day or a month to do it. Really, I feel that when the government gets involved and they're telling you where Black History Month is, when you are Black 365 days in a year, right, is when it gets silly. So I think like taking away the Tuskegee Navy history is a bit out of order because like they changed the face of the Air Force where certain people wasn't allowed. They're pioneers and it's ridiculous at this point. So, but I let Mr. Man play.
Military force to do it. So that's a direct threat against the EU, and they've taken it as such.
So that actually, when you go and do the research, that is a direct.
Yes, he said that a lot of Black people and Latinos and everybody voted for Trump in. He did say that. He mentioned it. He did mention that. And some is on the Democratic side. But when it comes to talking politics, it's a whole nother something else. Because politics is one of those things that when you start deep dive into it and you realize the sides, but then they are one of the same. It's the same with over here. There's the Tories and the Labour Party and the other ones and the other ones and the other ones. But the two base players that play in the arena for the people over here is the Tories and the Labour, right? And they all sleep in the same bed together. None of them's any better, any different. The only difference is the manifestos or the policies, the clause, whatever. That's it. So, to me, they all sleep in the same bed together because from Marcellus' situation, when they were playing with Marcellus's life so that they can get voted or whatever was going on, until Marcellus got executed unalived, right? They literally played with Marcellus's life for a period of time until he got unalived. And he was changing himself. Nigel Farage is not a good person. He's not a good person. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Maybe others might say differently. He's not. And that's why I don't understand with people. Right. Him and others, I call them racists in suits because that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. They're because they ain't got a hood over their head or whatever. It doesn't mean to say that how right their things and how they look at people and how they think of certain people has changed, because there's been pictures of him like over here, right? They have this way of looking at people. There is some what they say liberated people who looks at people as people and nothing else. You know what I mean? But there's some who still set in the old ways and old way of thinking of people, and these people exist. Nigel Farage is no exception. So when you look at the Americas and their history of stuff is totally different. He's straightforward. Yes, he's straightforward how he thinks as a racist man. Because that's how he thinks. He ain't nothing to do with brainwashing. Ain't nothing to do with like, all right, I'm all for conspiracy theories. I am. I am. But at the same time, right, when you're living in the actual place where you see everything is not nice. Like you cannot. Even the Tommy Robinson himself, like at first it was like people thought he was like this re-change person, and then it was something else, and it's just ridiculous. So like I'm saying, like when you are actually in the countries itself, it's mad crazy, because even with the guy who got beaten up in the prison the other day, um I can't remember what happened to the jailers. um like certain things, just I can't even go down half the list right now. There's been so many things, like because I look at America and here, because I feel they mimic each other. They are very similar but different at the same time. They are The only difference is that how he's good. Okay, in your mind he's good, but I know differently. I know differently. But information man is just putting his opinion on certain stuff. But well, I'm only playing the things what he's playing because Medea also played something to do with the Canadian tariff, and it is an embargo. It is an embargo, but this there will be more censorships. It ain't gonna get any easier. I think. Do you not think that they're not censoring what I'm saying now? Do you think they're not censoring what I'm saying now at this present moment when I'm talking about this? They're censoring all this now. They're being censored. Like, there's going to be a lot of censorship. That's why they're getting the AIs and everything in to play, so that I mean, like they're doing a lot of things by AI, and like there was a lot of backlogs of immigrants' papers not getting seen to. There is a process to it. There is a process to it as well. But some, like I said, do come through the back door. They're not always successful, but they will try and come through the back door. To me, it's like when people question how English are you, or how this are you, or how that are you, or how whatever you are. Like when it gets to them levels, that's when it gets dangerous. Like I said, and I would use Rwanda. Um, like even I call them Gestapo, because it's the behavior. It's the behavior. It's like people repeating the past. If the past was to come back here, it'll come back to these countries. It'll be detrimental. It doesn't matter whether you have voted for the guy or not voted for the guy. They're not going to be looking at all that. The first thing they're going to see is skin color. That's it. England is pro-Muslim immigrants, and they have ideology. They need to stay where they are. I guess supplementary. No, no, no. England's not pro-Muslim at all. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I don't think they're pro-Muslim over here. I don't think they are. I think that's wrong. That part is wrong. Well, I'm gonna play the video. I'm not gonna be having long talks to that.
War cry against the EU, European Union. You can't do that. These are agreements that was made way before Trump got back into office. Can't do that. Why are we I know Trump is saying, well,
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. That's the same with not all immigrants are the same, are they? It's like when it's like when somebody looks at you, right, and you have black features. You can be doing the best. You can be doing the best work you ever done in the world. You can be the bestest at whatever. Like, are you gonna guarantee to get a step up in wherever you're working or whatever you're doing? But what I'm saying is that how they do the jobs that most people will never do. They will do the jobs that most people will never do, never work. In nursing homes over here, there's loads of Tamil people. There's loads of all types of Indian, all types of African that is in the homes. Yes, there is few white faces there, yes. But when you go into nursing homes and certain spaces, and when especially with care, it's a lot of foreign immigrants that is working there. They will be the ones sweeping the streets. They'll be the ones on the trash, on putting getting the bins. Some people will not do that work. They will not. They will not. The only way they will do that work is if it's come to that level where they have to work, they would work that work. But most of the time, when I go certain places, I will see an immigrant sweeping the streets, an immigrant doing certain jobs what most people would not even touch with a 12-inch barge pole. They will do, right? And some of them would even feed into the economy. Like, for instance, when we went around in this country, every corner shop there is an Indian family working the corner shop, right? They'll be working the corner shop, right? They'll be owning franchises and certain stuff, right? And they start off with one person probably coming over, whatever the case may be, and then they would work until they get to what they have to do till they are able to own a shop. Then when they own a shop, they build that shop, they get another shop, they bring in the family now, and then they're the ones who's running the shop. Now, in every corner, like if you come to England, you will see it. Most places you will see most of the shops have Asian people in. Chinese restaurants, like African restaurants, like even Africans be feeding into the economy, however, which way you want to feel, however. I know what I see, right? And I'm not being biased on it. No, I don't think I'm being biased, actually. I'm just saying my thought on what I see, right? They will feed into it, right? Yes, like some of them, like especially like on the markets here. There's lots of markets, like you get a variety of people running markets. Like West Indians will have their West Indian foods, and they'll be there. That is called feeding into the economy. See, if you're feeding into the economy, it's different, right? Like, so it's the same with the, like I said, I'll refer to the nursing home because I know when I went to see my grandmother, she was in the nursing home. There was Tamil people there, all type of Asian there, all type of African there, and there's some white people there. So, or West Indian even. West Indian would even work it. So when you talk like that, I don't know how you look at it from your point of view. Sometimes I don't agree with everybody. I agree to disagree with what you're saying because I know differently. Because I know when, like I said, when I've been in training in certain places, it's the same people be in the training classes with me. There'll be immigrants. Some of them want to learn to talk the English so that when they go to work, they can talk English very well. Right? Like a Congolese lady, right? When she was in the class, she would talk and then she would try to put it in the English because she wants to learn to say the English word on point. So you can't tarnish everybody with the same brush because some people pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to get to do what they want, and they want to feed into the economy. Not everybody want to sit down and wait for something to come to them. Not everybody thinks like that. All right. My grandmother worked hard over here. She worked hard. She was able to even go as far as she can, like she was doing two jobs. She was a cleaner and she was working in some kind of restaurant. Then when she finished one, she'd do the other. Plus, she was running a church because she was in the church. So when you see all that and you come from all that, right, it's different, right? So I can't look at people like a certain way. People just look at people a certain way, and then you don't know what's going on with them. Yes, there is teeth and rubber and grey piece and all that, but those ones, yes, put them where you need to put them. Yes, I get that. Deal with them people. Anybody else who's trying to do whatever, and you're pulling children out of school, they have a fear of going to the school because they right because they have to go to school in fear. No, yeah, but you just said all immigrants are bad, so that means that so you're looking at your grandparents. Oh well, the same. You can't look at all immigrants the same, right? You can't. There is bad. Yes, there is bad ones. I ain't gonna say they ain't bad ones. I mean, like we hear about thingy gangs a lot, but then on the flip side, there was white gangs as well. So you know, yeah, some want better lives. Yes, they do. They should fix England first before helping others. Mostly, I saw is a military age man in South Germany. They had a lot of problems. I don't know. I need to look at what you're talking about. I'll look into it, that part. But at the same time, like I said, yes, not all of them are bad. Not all of them are bad, right? Some of them want to feed into economies where they're at before they right, or in most cases, right, they will come here and get educational because apparently the English education is quite high, so the families, they will send them over here to learn doctorate, to learn to be doctors, chemists, dentists, whatever, right? Then when they go back to their country and they've graduated, they go feed into their economy. And some of them will not live in the best places, right? They ain't gonna live in the best places. Even yesterday, Ringo Vision showed a guy, and I think I don't know, I think he was Somali or something, and and you could tell he's been through whatever, and he's on the streets, right? For all we know, he was working or doing something before he went on the streets. We don't, you know what I mean? People have stories. My family, those deep native. Yeah, but that's like you coming over here, right? Fair enough, right? Fair enough, right? If you're visiting, they're fine. They don't mind you visiting and then going back to where you are. They don't mind that. Is when you say that how right, you're gonna land roots here, but some people is literally born in England, right? Born, grow up here, have 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 origins from the West Indies, Africa, all over. Really, England is a melting pot of different cultures. It is literally a melting pot of different cultures. Mind you, some of it has changed. There is a lot of South Americans that have restaurants over here. They're not just over here for play. They literally do what they're doing, like, however you want to take it. Like they are doing what they're doing. They're literally working restaurants. Some people are literally getting jobs working in gyms, whatever. Right? Some people go agency work, can't talk a lick of English or just about talk a lick of English, and they do cleaning jobs. I met one, he was doing cleaning job. He could just about talk English, but he was doing cleaning. So I cannot be ignorant like everybody else. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna think that way because when I met people, they'll be working, so hard. Sometimes like they work all the way up to Sunday and then start again on Monday. So I cannot, I've even been around cabman, taxi people, right? They're working hard. They're working hard from midnight, early mornings, late nights, whatever. I'm talking about the people coming over in the last 10 years started over George Soros' plans it is a plan to put the people against each other. Yeah, like people. This is how I feel people is too, right? People don't. I mean, I'm not saying be kumbaya and kiss foot and kiss backside. No, but I feel sometimes people don't want to come together. They don't. They don't. People have fears and all sorts of things going on. They think that they're feeding to the stereotype of a person. So it's like a person's got to break down that stereotype so they can be accepted by other people. Or there is people who's liberated, who's been to countries, been over there. They know how people flex, and they will flex with them, and that's how I see. So, but basically, what Trump's doing is to stop certain products from coming into America. Prices of eggs went up in America. What else? What else happened? Price of eggs went up. I think price of food. Right, food's going up over here too. It's going up over here. So basically, right, it'd be a case of dog eat dog at the end of the day. Like the economy will plunge. The economy will plunge, right? And not like I said, not everybody's the enemy at the end of the day. Yes, there is enemies. Yes, there is. But from when you're picking up this one and that one and this one and that one for no reason, that Haitian guy that they picked up, I kind of get it, but I feel that the guy was fleeing from something because they'll all be fleeing from craziness. They're fleeing from things. There's warlords in countries, tyrants, dictators, all sorts of things going on, right? So I don't know. I guess people ain't open minded on certain stuff, but there is, like I said, there's levels to the deportation. They have to go through the legal ways of doing things. There is a whole process, especially to the America. There's a process to it. There's a process to it. So, and they can appeal and all sorts. Some people don't want to wait and do all that, the process. They want to do it the quick way. And some people, right, they're fleeing, they'll jump on boats and flee. I'm trying to find where he's doing the border control thing. So 1 week ago he was securing the border of criminals. Well, that's fair enough. Do that. I'm not gonna say no, don't do it. Do it. But don't deal with people messed up.
An official website of the United States government. Breadcrumb. Immediately after being sworn in, President Trump took executive action to stop the invasion at the southern border and to empower law enforcement agents to deport criminal aliens. In a move fulfilling one of now President Donald Trump's campaign promises, the Trump administration shuttered the use of CBP-1, a President Joe Biden-era app meant to help process migrants seeking to apply for asylum in the U.S. USA Today, Trump kills Biden-era CBP-1 app for asylum seekers at the border. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, on Monday issued memos to repeal limits on Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents imposed by former DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. ICE agents who spoke to Fox News said they believe that rescinding the Mayorkas order is going to free them up to go after more illegal immigrants. Fox News, Trump DHS repeals key Mayorkas memo limiting ICE agents, orders parole review. On January 22, ICE law enforcement officers arrested Franz Cadet, a 43-year-old citizen of Haiti. Cadet was convicted of multiple drug offenses.
See, that's different. See, that's a criminal.
Federal officers swept into sanctuary cities on President Trump's first full day in office Tuesday, nabbing more than 300 illegal migrant criminals, including an attempted murderer and a child molester, to hold them for deportation. The New York Post: ICE arrested 308 illegal migrants, including attempted murderer and a child molester, on Trump's first full day in office. The Trump administration is attempting to amass a larger force of law enforcement officials to help carry out deportations by granting agents across the federal government the same powers as an immigration officer, according to an internal memo. The Wall Street Journal: Trump gives gun, drug agents deportation power. The number of Border Patrol encounters at the southern border in the first 3 days of the Trump administration is 35% lower than the final 3 days of the Biden administration, the sources said. Fox News: border encounters drop sharply as Trump launches crackdown on illegal immigration. Deportation flights to remove illegal aliens view original.
See, that's different. See, that's criminals. That's criminals. But it's when they fear going to school and they fear doing, like, you know, there's a whole heap of people that they were picking up. A whole heap of people. I don't think it was just picking up criminals alone. I mean, fair enough, we see them with the shackles going to on the plane or whatever the case may be. But like I said, when children is fearing to go to school, right? And when people put it similar to the Jewish Holocaust, that's when it gets crazy. When you really think about it, it's like that. It's a genocide. I don't like, not that I don't care what people say. It's a genocide. That's what's going on. And fair enough. If you're getting rid of the criminals, good. But if you're just doing whatever, trying to find some of the thingies. So there was so much. It was coming in thick and fast. As soon as he went into office, the information was just coming out quick. Then he was saying the Navajo people. Then he's going for the next one. Then he's going for the next one. It's like, let me see if I can find it. See, I can't even find it now. And Guantanamo Bay just reminds me of Auschwitz. But some people is glad to have left America. Some of them's happy that they left America. So, you know, he's talking. Yeah, I don't know why no one's talking about trafficking. I was talking about trafficking as well. I think I did touch the border one, the cartels and all that. I touched that before. Open border equal to child trafficking. Go. Yes, close that part then for that reason. Yes. Do that. But anything else after that, saying that how right you're gonna unalive immigrants and all this thing, that just sounds like that gives me images of you know what. So I'm just like, you know, yeah.
We're paying more than any other. And then he lied today and said that we don't need any of the resources in Canada. Yes, we do. Without them, we're gonna have some problems. And he's already come out and said that he wants Americans to be willing to suffer. Why do Americans have to suffer? You said that Americans, Trump, were suffering under Biden. Now you're telling us that we have to suffer under what you're trying to do. A man who bankrupted a casino.
He's literally saying that America could potentially use military force against a European country in order to seize territory from them, seize European territory. Well, that's nothing but colonization. What he's talking about with regards to Canada, that's nothing but colonization. The man is talking about occupying, colonizing, and pillaging other Western countries, the resources of other Western
Which makes
countries.
no
He called the
sense.
border between
They're
Canada
feeding
and the
America
US
as well.
an artificially drawn line. I mean, Putin didn't even say that about Ukraine.
Whoa. All right. So everything that he said is correct. And then, of course, I got to play this because this was the breaking news this morning and late last night. Then you have the president of Canada. And Canada, I'm telling you, they're not playing, y'all. Check this out.
Imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States and 10% on Canadian energy. A decision that, should they elect to proceed with, should take effect on Tuesday, February 4th. Cette décision met en péril une relation économique historique. Une relation qui a été la source de tellement de richesses, de prospérité et de possibilités des deux côtés de la frontière. Tonight, first, I want to speak directly to Americans.
I just want y'all to hear this before I
neighbors.
get to the meat of the sauce of the group of the
This
stream
is a
today.
choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede.
Everybody put sevens in the chat room if you agree with what I'm about to say right now. Isn't gasoline already expensive enough at the pump? Aren't we already paying more for groceries? Didn't Trump say that he could lower the prices, that he could get rid of inflation, that inflation was caused by the Democratic Party? If we think inflation is bad now, with this tariff war that he's doing, which is an import tax that they're going to make American companies are going to put on us as consumers. If things are already bad with inflation now, they're going to get 10 times worse with this tariff war that he's come out with. He wants to tariff his way through his damn presidency. Now, I'm going to say it again. I'm glad that Trump is getting rid of illegals that are here. I'm down with those part of his policies, but I'm also looking at how these policies are going to impact the people that are at the bottom in our society economically. And those people, a lot of them are people who look like us as Black people. Let's hear some more of this.
Impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago.
You hear what he said, aluminum, steel. I mean, I've got some notes here. The cost of gas is going to go up, y'all. Automobile industry is going to lay off people. You can see they're going to be there could be a potential, I'm saying potential, that the automobile industry that relies on steel and relies on these resources, they could start laying people off in the automobile industry. Wasn't it Barack Obama? Whatever you think about Barack Obama, that's your business. But Barack Obama, when he was in office, he saved the automobile industry. If Trump pushes these tariffs, it could hurt the automobile industry because people are not going to buy cars that are overpriced. And they're already overpriced as is.
The rich will.
Uranium. We need uranium, aluminum. They're going after Mexico. Do you know that Mexico represents 31% of the horticulture, the vegetables and the fruits that we're getting in America? Canada provides us with grain.
And it's the South Americans that was working the farms as well, because as soon as they went right, there's nearing to harvest the the farms, the farmlands, the fruits, the oranges and all that, the tomatoes, and then this changed. Like, so the ones who's actually working, doing work on the farmlands, doing work in a different ways, like, farm, economic, like, what do you call it, apiculture. That's that. So that means they're keeping the vegetables consistently going. The black farmers at one point was actually having problems with their farms, but now it looks like they are going to benefit from all this shake up too, because that means that they don't have to rely on going to the grocery store. They can go and get eat from their land. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's crazy to think that how like all this will impact hugely on the people. It's the same thing over here. When Parliament makes a wrong move or do something ridiculous, it impacts the whole country. The whole country gets it, right? The prices goes up. Milk, right? Like even the 99p stores weren't even 99p no more. Everything had gone up, literally, going up, literally. Where you can step into a Sainsbury's, an Aldi. I can't remember all the cheap shops right now, and you can spend like £10 and you get a full basket. Now, what you got to do now, before you even think about buying something, you have to make a whole plan. Yeah, go to like 10 shops to get food, so that it looks like the money that it is that you're buying. All right, me sometimes I get my younger one to good to do, because she knows how to buy certain stuff. Like me, I will walk around and get this and get over there and get over there and get over there. She's not like that, so it impacts on the food greatly. When something happens in the top of the pyramid, it goes all the way down the pyramid. Not only that, right? Especially with foreign foods. At one time over here, there was an issue with what's it? Sun fried tomatoes. Now they used to get it from Italy, Israel. I think there was problems with the prunes, the plums, this, that. It really affects everything. It really affects everything. It affects the markets, everything. And so when you're making big steps like this, right, you have to put certain things in place, because the people down below is gonna feel it. Maybe the middle class ain't gonna feel it as much, but the people lower will feel it. England's gonna have a bad year this year, and it's gonna cause an uprising. They always have an uprising. There's nothing new. One from the right. Even when the children rioted about certain things, there's sometimes there's uprising. Uprising comes at different reasons as well.
Meats, Corolla oil, all these things that.
So it's all
remember,
going to
let's keep this
price.
in mind.
It's going to boost
America. We don't produce nothing. We don't manufacture like other parts of the world. We're not a manufacturing giant as we once were. So therefore, we've become dependent on other countries. That's why what Trump is doing don't make sense, because we're not an independent country in terms of we're manufacturing everything. It'd be different if we manufactured all our products here and we didn't need anybody on the outside. However, that's not how it works in America, because they want to keep the cost cheap for you and me. So they outsource it out. I just want to lay that on y'all.
About the DEI.
Just want to lay it on you.
Oh, he does. He brings it up somewhere along the line.
But it doesn't have to be this way. As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies.
I want to thank my man, Larry, Anything Goes LLC, for the $10 super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
The DEI. I wanted to get
You
to
giving
that
that super
actually
chat.
more.
Let me. Black business vendors anyway. Well, they're gonna do it anyway. So according to this article, it says Target also said it was ending its racial equity action and changing reach initiatives this year, under which it had pledged to invest over $2 billion with Black-owned businesses by the end of 2025. So that means Black-owned businesses are not going to money in the hands of white people that own the business.
Let me see. Hold on.
Companies across various industries made announcements after announcing that they would invest in diversity and inclusion initiatives, often using the position of chief diversity officer to direct these efforts. A report from the career site Zappa, which is what I'm using for the data. This is where I got my data from, ZIPPIA, details that these positions, only 4% of the roles were occupied by Black people in 2023. That's a damn shame.
Tell the truth.
All Reliable, how you doing? Good to see you over here. It's a damn shame. I just had to drop that on you all. And then it came back that the lack of Black people in diversity and inclusion roles make it experts in the field suspect that those announcements and positions were created for public relation boosts and little else. So I'm not going to read through all of that, but the bottom line is they're saying that these programs were only used.
So yeah, the DEI thing, yeah, it sucks because he's not saying minority, right? Even when the plane went down, in I forgot which part it went down, when it collided, he didn't say a minority. He said, "Oh, well, I blame it on a DEI," and I was like, "Wow." Right, when in fact the one person was following the rules of whatever they're supposed to do when flying, and the other person was not following the rules of flying, basically. Like, so I think that's one of the parts that I'll see. But the deportation thing is huge. I want to get to the deportation thing as well, because that's crazy. That's crazy. So right now they got flights going to they're putting all the deportees in Guatemala. That's what I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, Guatemala. Yeah, let me see. I can find. Right, so if it's undocumented people and there's undocumented people they're taking and criminals. That's different. When it comes to taking people, normal people now, that's something else. Hold on. I'm trying to find the thing. Yeah, I bet I'm not gonna find it now. I'm looking for it. Right, so this man was in the US and I think he's a deportee, I think. I'm not sure. Hold on. He has to go back, he says.
Year. 19 years. Yes, I have a wife, kids. I have a one daughter is 4 years and one boy is 4 months old. I left over there
You have a 4-year-old daughter and a 4-month-old son,
Yes, I live there.
and they're in with your wife in the U.S.
Yes,
So he
I'm
separated
scared
families.
because now the Trump they say they have to you know, go with the criminal, but we're not a criminal, you know. But
But you have a trespassing conviction.
yes, but to me it's not like that. What about?
To you, it's not as serious a crime.
Yes, I'm not.
So what now? Where do you go, Fidel?
Now I have to go with my mom and my dad.
They
Yeah,
live here.
yeah.
Are you going to try to stay here, or do you think you'll go back?
I have to go back for sure.
You
You'll
gotta go back
find a way
for the
back.
for the
Yes.
family.
So how many years altogether did you live in the U.S.?
That's almost 90 years.
19 years.
See, I mean, and trespassing, that is bad as well. So I throw that part in. So I think that how they got him on a criminal something, and then they deported him. So with that, that's a different thing. Now, the rapist thing, trafficking thing, firearms, whatever. But like I said, like there is people who's on that type of time as well, who is not even from a foreign country. So now, so they're separated families in the process. Oh man, I keep doing this. So that's why I stand on it a little bit. I mean that like you don't separate families. That's a bit crazy when you're going down that route. Trying to find because there's so much going on. So like the people's alert to ICE. It's strange. I found so many things. Oh yeah, the birthright citizenship. That's another.
Joining us to discuss more on the issue of birthright citizenship and the legal battle ahead is Dr. John Eastman. He's senior fellow at the Claremont Institute. Dr. Eastman, it seems that much of the legal debate about citizenship and the 14th Amendment centers around the idea of jurisdiction. In your recent article, you suggested it's more about allegiance than jurisdiction. Explain, please.
Well, the drafters of that amendment were asked directly what they meant by subject to the jurisdiction, because there were two ideas that were covered by that phrase. One that was called partial or territorial jurisdiction. If you live within our borders, unless you're a diplomat, then you're obviously subject to our laws while here. And they were asked if that's what they intended, and they specifically said no. It means subject to the complete jurisdiction, owing allegiance, such as exists among citizens, or the Supreme Court would later say for lawful permanent residents who are permanently domiciled in this country, not for temporary visitors, whether they're here legally on a student or tourist or work visa, and certainly not for those who are here illegally without our consent at all. And that was quite clear that that's what they meant. And it remained clear that that's what they meant for 3/4 of a century. Somehow it just kind of worked into our nation's psyche that if you're just born here, that's all that's necessary. And that's never what that amendment said or intended.
That over here
well,
too.
it was 150 years ago. So what was the original intent then of Congress when the 14th Amendment was proposed?
Well, it was very clear. They were codifying.
Now, my thing is, right, if you come over to a place to work, it's different. Also, you got to get your work permits, your papers all up to scratch and everything else. If you're working in another country, I should think that's how it works. I think it'll be different. But before, it's the same. Maybe it's the same thing over here. When they're born over in a country, they are considered that they are a citizen of that country, right? And so, yeah, I'm just gonna listen because, like, I heard about the birthright citizenship too, so I wanna find out what exactly it is as well.
the 1866 Civil Rights Act. And that one specifically said, born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power. So if you're visiting here, the word they used was temporary sojourners. If you're a temporary sojourner and you still owe your allegiance to a foreign power, your king or the emperor of China or whatever, then this clause does not give you your children automatic citizenship. They were very clear about that. Now, we didn't have illegal immigration at the time. The question arose in the context of Native Americans who owed allegiance to a different power, their tribes. And the drafters of that language were quite clear. Even though they're born on U.S. soil, they would not be citizens. Supreme Court held as much in an 1884 case called Elk versus Wilkins. So this was the clear understanding, and it remained that understanding. I've not been able to trace exactly when this understanding changed, but it wasn't anything formal. It was either in the late 1930s or maybe as late as the 1960s that government officials started acting as though anybody born here, no matter what, were citizens. But there was no court decision. There was no formal pronouncement. It just kind of morphed into our psyche.
What other cases came before the Supreme Court on this issue, and how did they rule?
Well, the first case that took up 14th Amendment at all was called the slaughterhouse cases. And there, both the majority justices and the minority justices said quite clearly that the clause was intended to protect, not to give citizenship to the children of diplomats. Everybody agrees on that. And then it said, or the children of foreign nationals, citizens of another nation. And that's what we're talking about. Elk versus Wilkins did the same thing a decade later. Wong Kim Ark is the case often cited for changing the rule that if you're just born on U.S. soil, you're a citizen. But Wong Kim Ark involved parents who were permanently domiciled in the United States. And the court said their children are therefore citizens. It had nothing to say about children of illegal immigrants or children of temporary visitors. That was not at issue. And then we get, but back, people now look at Wong Kim Ark as if it settled the question. It clearly did not. And had it settled the question, 20 some years later, in 1924, Congress passed the Indian Citizenship Act, offering citizenship to every Native American born in the country. That would not have been necessary if the Supreme Court had already settled that question in the Wong Kim Ark case.
Well, everyone expects this to eventually work its way up to the Supreme Court, but what are the chances Congress may weigh in on this and propose new legislation? If so, wouldn't that likely be challenged in the courts?
Well, Congress would adopt the same understanding as President Trump's executive order. And then you're all of a sudden looking at a court decision where both political branches have weighed in on their understanding of the Constitution. And these are co-equal branches, and they each have independent obligation to enforce the Constitution. So that would make for a very interesting legal challenge when the political branches and say, look, Eastman and the other scholars that have looked at this stuff and said we've been misinterpreting the Constitution for about a half a century. The original first century after the 14th Amendment was adopted, that's not what we did. And going back to the original meaning and, look, ending things like birth tourism. I mean, our main political enemies on the world stage, Russians going to Miami to have born babies and then go back to Russia with a citizen certificate, or Chinese immigrants coming, Chinese mothers coming and renting luxury hotel rooms for a month until they deliver their baby and go back with the holy grail of American citizenship. This is nonsense. And I think President Trump understands it's nonsense. And because, in my view, it's not compelled by the Constitution, he can do something about it.
Okay, I'm sure it's a long road ahead on this, a legal battle ahead. Dr. John Eastman of the Claremont.
That's why he changed the rules on the birthright thing. So even if you're born there, it doesn't necessarily make you a citizen, basically, innit? So yeah, I want to go back to the DEI thing. Which is crazy. That's even, oops, did it wrong one. That's even crazy to me. The DEI thing. Hope it's the right one.
DEI to explain why they are appointing diversity officers, carrying out diversity training, and discussing ways to be more inclusive. But what really is DEI? And why is it necessary? DEI is short for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here's a breakdown. Diversity is ensuring the representation of all identifiers across races, gender identities, sexual orientations, religions, political beliefs, socioeconomic statuses, and more. Equity is the fair treatment of all previously stated identifiers, making sure every person in the environment has the same opportunities, resources, and support. Inclusion is making sure that the space is comfortable and welcoming to every type of person present. Everybody should feel respected and valued. Host of the 2023 Golden Globe Awards, Gerard Carmichael, included in his opening monologue that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the group of journalists that decide the nominees and the winners of the Golden Globes, didn't have a single Black journalist in the association until after George Floyd died. The last time there was a Black member was in 2002. This means that the Golden Globes nominations and voting were missing out on Black voices that could have contributed to helping Black films and shows get nominated and win awards.
There's a myth that we aren't innovative and that we don't bring innovative solutions. We are the most creative people. If you look at Google's YouTube platform, Black creators use YouTube not just to innovate, it's monetized. We also network there, and we have built our businesses from entertainment to the arts to science and engineering using a highly creative platform.
DEI is put in place to avoid these situations. It is implemented to make sure that from the very beginning, all types of people get the chance to be in the room and make the decisions. Like Google's Chief Diversity Officer, Melanie Parker. For more topics from our cheat sheet series, visit theroot.com.
It's common to sensing and the media twist the topic. Think of this: American people all have an ID in their own country. So what make it so bad for the people come here do the same thing? Just the view. Yeah, that's a fair view. But it's the main fact that how they're taking diversity off the table, even though like he's using the DEI, what you call it, pronouns. I feel like, is it a pronoun? Maybe it's a pronoun or an adverb or whatever. But yeah. So by saying that how they're trying to be inclusive, but Target and Walmart did get hit by the diversity thing where they took off the products for black products. They all came off of the shelves, and as we know that how the biggest consumers is Black people. Really, Black people buy a lot of stuff. We buy a lot of hair products, shoes, you name it. Like, we are one of the biggest consumers out here, basically. So for you to take that off, that's like Sainsbury's taking off Roots to the Tip and taking off all the other products. Yeah, media can twist things as well. It's like you got to look for pronoun. Yeah, my pronoun is Richard. Yeah. So the media twists things. Yes, it does. And the DEI sucks. It's judging based on color of skin. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And which means that how you don't get an equal footing in the room. Whereas like your voices, whereas like people used to fight to get into places where they can speak for people. So just say that how you want to be in a certain room and you cannot go there because it's down to color, gender. I forgot the other one, diversity. Right? Those are the things that we use to get you to stop you from going into that room, right? Not the intellect experience of a person. Yes, because a person can be of color and they can be like, just say, a scientist, something big, navigator, like hidden figures. The hidden figures, they had intellect. They was able to work out the coordinates and longitude of certain stuff, but they was always pushed in a corner or put somewhere. So which means that they weren't allowed in that space. But then when you have the knowledge of certain things, you can come into spaces where like faces will normally not be seen. So yeah, there is something else I wanted to touch on as well. The Tsar is very disturbing, I ain't gonna lie. Because Tsar is it's not part of ICE, but it's another organization that's in America to do deportations, etc., etc., etc. Like the guy that Trump is shaking hands with has a very, very closed mind. No, I don't know. Should I say closed-minded? He's not for the people who's coming over to the country. So he has formulated an organization called ZAR, which I'm still trying to find the tab because I did look it up yesterday. It talks about the Tsar of thingy, but we're not looking at it. Now, there is a guy, the Tsar that I was talking about. I forget who. He's the one who runs Tsar. And he's questionable. Questionable person. Okay. He's probably not going to say a lot on this one. It's probably going to just be straightforward. Let me see. Oh my goodness, I keep doing that. Oh my days, what did I do? I did something stupid. Oh, it's not going to close. Why? Hold on. I've got to come out of the screen. Hold on. It's going to give me a problem. Hold on. Maximize. I need to use my finger. Hold on. Let me figure out what's going on. It's going on opened in a complete different place. Okay, let me tell you. Will it go back? Are you going to go back? No? Why are you going back? It's going to separate it. Why you separate the screen, man? Hold on, I've got to clock out of this. It's messed up my rhythm. I'm reading on my mic's not on. When I travel in a plane, I'm not gonna worry if the pilot is black or anything. Yes, or anything. I want to know that he is capable of piloting the plane. Yes, but they are reversing everything. Yes, they're reversing it. That's what I'm saying. It's very crazy. Get a bunch of people from another country who do not know how to drive the freeways in America, and you end up with a lot of people in hospitals. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one, native. But ID bad, blah blah blah. It's a common sense. You could be John Doe in the corner building. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get acquainted with the Tsar. The Tsar, the one who's the organizer of Tsar.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Oh my gosh.
Won't be necessary.
Oh. Scream's doing all sorts of things today.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is.
It's gonna play. Play.
Racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to play him on another.
community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant.
Hold on, let me play him on another one. Okay, I think this is the same one. Can I find this interview? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, no, it's on 60. Oh. Okay, let's get back to the guy now and hear his point of view on certain stuff. The director of Tsar.
Starting to take shape. He's announced who he'll tap to lead border security and is also weighing in on the new Republican-controlled Senate. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
This morning, former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Tom Homan, who carried out one of the most controversial border policies during Donald Trump fulfilled Trump's campaign promise of the largest mass deportation in American history. Homan recently spoke with 60 Minutes.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community.
As ICE director, Homan led the zero tolerance policy that separated parents from their children at the border. The ACLU estimates between 500 and 1,000 families have yet to be reunited. When asked if there's a way to carry out mass deportations without separating families, Homan said this.
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Trump also weighed in on the new Republican-controlled Senate, saying whoever leads it must allow recess appointments. That would give Trump temporary power to fill vacancies without Senate approval. The issue came up in 2014 when the Supreme Court ruled against President Obama's use of recess appointments. At the time, Leader Mitch McConnell called the move a power grab.
The president defied the Senate's determination that it was meeting regularly, and the Supreme Court unanimously agreed with us.
Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Now, the raids. The raids look like scary stuff. The ICE raids look very scary to look at. So I should think that how some of them people will be in fear. All they did is teach their children it's okay to break laws and shakes head. Yeah, that's the only thing. But those are the ones who come in not the right way. Those are the ones who don't go through and get the right papers and do the necessary. It's just when there's people like him who says that how right they rather unalive the immigrants. That's when it gets dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, obviously, in the media, right, they got to do the words nice and all that, but like on the face of it all, like when you look into this guy, he is very much not what he seems neither. I mean, yes, keep the families together. But in all the news raids, what they did, they separated the children from the separate cubicles. Now, remember ages ago, if people remember ages ago, there used to be a picture of children in a glass cage looking thing, and the adults was in a glass cage thing. Now, these things do exist because they showed a bit of a film or a news, and then you see the children going into this place. They are separated from their parents, right? There's even a case of like when a guy was going to leave, he left like it seemed like a 5-year-old with ice. Then there was a van of children. Somebody asked, I had it on my IG, I think. Somebody was very concerned for the children. Why was they concerned? Because they was asking the guy, where is the van going? The guy would not answer them. So it could be very dangerous. It could be not what it is. Let me see if I can find it. It could be not what it is. Because that could be trafficking situation too. I don't know if I can find it now. They asked the guy, where are you taking the children? Where are you taking the children? They didn't answer them. He asked them 3 times, where are you taking the children? He didn't answer. See this one? Yeah, it is this one. So there's that danger because they can even be trafficking while they're going with ICE. You never know what's going on. Come under the disguise of ICE, like, you know, a uniform's a uniform. Might not be what it is. Did I get the sound?
Where is this driving to?
Oh, just roll up the window, man.
Dude, I can blur your face. This is not looking good. Just all I'm asking is where this is going to, because a lot of these kids go missing. Where is this going to? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so where you working for? Who you working for? Roll up the window.
I'm independent media. I'm independent media, and I've done a lot of work on this. My videos have millions of views. This is gonna look really bad if you roll up the window. Where are you guys taking these kids? That's all we want to know. Where are the kids going?
Okay, what do they tell you? What they tell you?
They won't tell me anything. Look, he's telling me to roll up the window.
Okay.
He's telling me to roll up the window. Where are you taking these kids? It's gonna look really bad if you roll up that window, bro. Where are you taking the kids to?
Okay, so who do you work for?
I'm independent. I work for myself. I'm an independent news reporter. Where are you going, man? Who do you? Whoa.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, I have to put
Where
the
you
window
going?
up.
Where are you taking these kids to?
Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God.
Which means that anybody.
Hey, where are you guys flying to today? Where
That
you
they're
guys
part
driving
of
to?
immigration or they're not.
Well, a lot of these kids, you know, a third of these kids, according to the New York Times, go missing.
Oh, well, not these.
Not these?
They're with us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'm just curious. You guys going to a foster home?
No, sir. It doesn't matter where they're going.
Oh, okay.
We don't need
Well, how can we guarantee this kid's safety? Because you're not going to check up on them, right?
You don't know that.
Well, there's a 30-day wellness check that happens after you drop them off, right? And a third of those calls
But
go
again,
unanswered.
you don't know what we're doing, so thank you.
Do you work with MVM or Southwest Key? Hola. Whoa, do you tell these kids not to talk?
Yeah,
You tell these kids not to talk?
ask my permission to be on.
Well, this is a one-party. It's a one-party consent
You
state in New
didn't
York. This is a public place. Unfortunately, I'll give you some space. That's fine. Hola. ¿Cómo estás, amigos? Yo soy un amigo. No problema. No problema. ¿Qué país tú? Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. ¿Qué país? What? No problema. Es América. Es América. No problema aquí. Amigos, ¿qué pasa? You okay? Hey, what company do you work for? Can I know that? Huh? What company do you work for? That's all I want to know. I mean, it's a public concern with these kids. You know, a lot of men are going missing. It's in Department of Homeland Security documents, and some of them get delivered into the hands of sex traffickers. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I'm saying it does happen. This is known. I'm saying, are you MVM, Southwest Key? That's all we want to know. What's going on, brother?
Hey, no, can you not do that, please?
Yeah, don't touch me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't touch me, dude.
Can you go?
Don't touch me.
Can you go? You're asked to leave.
Don't touch me,
No,
dude.
it's not. Nobody's touching you.
All right,
Go.
all right,
Goodbye.
all right.
Goodbye.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Goodbye.
Don't get in my
Goodbye.
face.
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my face?
Goodbye.
Why are you getting in my face?
Goodbye, bro. Goodbye.
Why are
bro.
you getting in my
nothing to
face?
do here. Goodbye, bro.
What's the name of this place?
None of your business. Goodbye. Have a blessed day, bro.
I'll have a blessed day. That's
Going
fine.
here looking for problems is not good.
I don't want any problems. The Children's Village. What is this place? I'm asking you where are these kids going?
Have a blessed day.
Where are these kids going?
Have a blessed day, bro.
Where are these kids going?
Have a blessed day, bro.
Sir, what's going on in there? There's kids in that car. I'm happy to disperse the area. Can you tell me who the... I'm going to have to call the police if you're not going to tell me because there's kids in that car. What is this place? I'm with myself, but I saw there were some kids in the back of that car. And
Stop filming me.
okay, I'll stop filming you. But it's very concerning that there's kids in the back of that car.
Put the camera down, please.
But this is for my own safety because you're approaching me. You're approaching me.
I'm not approaching you.
Why are you approaching me?
I'm security on this property.
Okay, but there's some very strange activity with kids in the car.
Wow.
Who are the kids?
I can't tell you these things. I'm security.
All right, I can leave. I'll leave, but there's kids in that car. What's going on?
I can't tell you that information.
Why are you guys driving these kids around?
I can't tell you no information.
Is this legal?
I can't tell you no information. This is private property.
All right, I'll get off the private property, but I'm gonna have to call the police. But what is this place?
I'm not answering no questions.
What is this? Where are we? Who's in the car? You said that you were on vacation, and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country? Is this MVM? No. We have footage here that a lot of these children don't know the sponsors that they are going to. What's going on? There's kids in the car here. They're moving these kids. They just turned the lights off. This is the MVM headquarters that we are currently at. There are kids in this van right here that they are moving. There's somebody that's going to come out. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, are you a manager here? Hey, we have spoken to some of these children, and they tell us that they don't know a lot of times the sponsors that they're going to. Do you have any comment on that at all? No, I don't. This is MVM, correct? I'm not sure. You're not sure. Excuse me. What's going on here? There they go. And notice they got out of here in such a hurry that they just left their bags here. Think about that. They got out of here. We don't even know what's in those bags. They just left them there and they took off in the van in such a hurry because that's how secret this operation is. They do not want you to know what is going on. The van that we just confronted, they are now taking off. We are following them. We believe that they're taking these kids to the airport. We have talked to some of these children that you guys escort, and some of these children have told us that their friends don't know the sponsors that they're going to. Are you okay with that? Sydney, why are you all wearing masks? Do you have any comment on that? Why are you hiding your identity? Do you have any shame, sir? There's still time to redeem yourself. Would you like to see the footage that we caught of the girl and what's going on? Were their IDs even checked just there? Were their IDs even just checked? Who checked their IDs? I didn't see any ID check just there. There was no ID check. Right. Why weren't there IDs checked? If I was going to go here, I'm going to ask you, why do you guys ID American citizens when there's children going to do you guys an ID number? I'm not going to say anything.
Are a lot of the kids coming over here, are they trafficked or like what's the...
Some are. I'm not gonna lie. Some are.
Does that happen a lot that the kids come over here with a totally fake name?
It has.
Yeah?
There's no way for us to verify.
And so they come over here with a fake name and then they just come up with one. They just get a brand new identity. They could be anybody.
Have you seen the movie?
Sound of Freedom?
Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah.
exactly like that.
You guys get the kids coming over here with the notes that are attached to them with the addresses, right? And a lot of times that just lead to like a sex trafficker or something, right? That's legit.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we can't tell.
What's the issue though? Why can't you guys talk on camera?
It's the policies that we have, things that we can and can't say.
But why don't they want you talking on camera? Politics. What, like making the administration look bad? Or...
Yeah.
Damn.
Honestly, bro, I really wish it was more people like you.
Yeah.
Exposing this shit.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It truly is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It is a horrible thing. But me, I can't do that.
You could blow the whistle on it.
No, I can't.
You could, but you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, exactly.
You work for NVM, and NVM is an organization that has moved thousands.
I don't work for you.
You do not work for NVM?
I'm on vacation.
We've now landed in Houston, and it appears as if MVM has requested a police escort because they don't want media exposing what they're doing. But if you look, they have all of the kids wearing masks, and they have them keeping their head down. All of the kids wearing masks, keeping their head down. They're telling them to hide their face. Many of these kids go missing. You said that you were on vacation, and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country?
There can also be problems like this. People dressed in uniform, making out that they're something, and then the children ends up in this situation. Okay, so like the trafficking thing was going on as well. Though the immigration thing, like, also marries with this too, I feel, because like some of the children, as you can see, most of them are from South America. So he's trying to pinpoint where they're taking them and all this stuff. Like, so they took them to a children's adventure place or whatever, right? And then he asked them, are you going to are you part of this one? Are you part of that one? Because like, you know that how people can say that they're part of the immigration thing, they're part of the this, they're part of that, and then they come pick them up, which in fact they're probably being trafficked or something. All right. So I just thought I'd show that because I came across that a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. I was kind of concerned for the children. And like you said, Native, if they have nothing to hide, they should have just said. So we're going back to the immigration raids as well. I'm going to try not to linger on here. I'm just going to show this because a lot of the people was scared. A lot of the children were scared. They didn't want to go to school. They didn't want to, there was empty places where normally be busy. There was empty spaces as well. So, it's I feel, yeah, it's a lot when somebody's trying to pinpoint something on you, or they're trying to enclose you in something. You paid into the system, and then they're deporting you. But like one of the people said in my, hold on, I need to find my the Guantanamo Bay. Because I was having a real good conversation in that post. And they do mention that how they are actually putting people in the Guantanamo Bay which I'm going to go find it in a minute. So it is scary times, really. It's scary. Oh, it's not even. All right, so this is the place where they're going to put all the immigrants. Guantanamo Bay. Let's see. Forgot to spell. So me and one person was having a back and forth about this yesterday, which was very informative as well, because I think we did actually come to an understanding at the end of the conversation on the tab. Because he said, why didn't I mention that there will be criminals that will be going in there? But it seems like they're taking in not only criminals, they're taking in other people there. So we was talking, because I was saying it's like a genocide level, because the building, to me, well, I can't even bring it up, reminds me also of Auschwitz. Reminds me of Auschwitz. So they're going to house the migrants in Guantanamo Bay. What's going on, screen? Well, you're not working now.
Director.
Oh, that's too big. Oh, the screen's tightened up. Hold on a minute. Oh, why are you doing this? Okay. Let's see how you move. Oh, it's the same one. Okay, I'm just going to use it, Cha. Understand, godmother. I would be scared too if my mother was not with me and seeing something bad on my way here. Yeah. Yeah. So now they're sending them to Guantanamo Bay. They're housing all of them in Guantanamo Bay. They're going to house them there.
About an American military base on foreign soil. What does that mean for immigrants' access to due process?
Okay, so first, it's not really foreign soil in the United States terms. It's an outpost of the United States. And that's always been one of the confusing things about Guantanamo. What it is a place where repeatedly the United States has sought to place individuals without the kinds of protections by law that they have in the United States on the homeland, as we've seen with the detention of war on terror detainees. And also, you know, we can talk about the migration center as well, but it is not correct to call it on foreign soil. It is on a U.S. base located in Guantanamo Bay.
All right, so you've been to that facility where they'd be held at Guantanamo Bay. What challenges will the administration face in trying to implement the plan?
So one big challenge that they're going to face is basically the numbers he was throwing around. He threw out 30,000. I don't know that they have the capacity for that, but I have never heard that before. At the height that I knew about it in the old days, in the 90s, I think they held 21,000 at the most. They've held refugees repeatedly in current context. President Biden talked about using it for migrants as well, but never, and we're using it now for some intercepted asylum seekers and migrants, but that kind of capacity, that kind of number hasn't been thrown around before. So I'm assuming that will mean they will need to build up some kind of facility, not just for the numbers they're talking about in terms of migrants, but also for the guards, the health facilities, et cetera, that we'll need there. And just to make a point there, they had to build Guantanamo detention facility also, you know, for the war on terror detainees. And they did that very rapidly. They did it within 100 days and built, you know, state-of-the-art maximum security prisons and housing for those who would need to attend to them. So it can be done quickly.
As you point out, the base has been used to hold much smaller numbers of immigrants for years. What could some of their experiences tell us about Guantanamo?
Well,
basically they'll be on top of each other. They won't be able to house that much people. It wouldn't have the capacity to house that much people, because what it was made for, the purpose what it was made for is for the war and terror. Now it's turned into housing immigrants. So it won't be able to do what it's supposed to do. So they're going to have over the amount spill. So that means the conditions are going to be low. It's going to be disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you how, like, you know, the way how she told the capacity to which you can hold, to the amount they're putting in there now, which is like a lot of people.
Reports are not good. And I want to say that it's not just the past reports that are not good. It's also, there was a report released in September by the International Refugee Assistance Project, which sort of detailed the conditions that migrants are held in currently at Guantanamo, which included unsanitary conditions, mistreatment, not to mention this sort of fuzzy legal status. So I don't think that's projected well. In the past, there's also been in these prior times, in the 70s and the 90s, also, you know, allegations of and documents of mistreatment and unsanitary conditions, etc.
Certainly a lot to work out moving forward. Karen Greenberg, thank you.
So basically, even though like they're housing criminals, it's just not gonna be thinking. Russia base or Chinese base outpost like ours. Ours is like Hilton to bad guys. Oh, really? Really? Man, all I know is like it's similar. It reminds me of the barge. That place puts me in mind of the Stockholm barge that I spoke about. How like they put them in facilities. I mean, like I get it. It's to deter people from coming to the country. I really get it. But at the same time, it's like asbestos things happening. The sewage problem, all sorts. People getting sick. There is a documentary on Prime, and it's showing the Jamaican. It's an old one, an older documentary of a Jamaican jail, and I feel that's how bad it will be in Guantanamo Bay. So, like I said, it's like tearing children away from their parents. Like even when like you're thinking it's an ICE Gestapo, then it ends up to be someone who's got the uniform and can pass himself as ICE. I don't like, you know, stranger things has happened. So, you know, the fear of children not want to go to school, scared that how are they going to get taken out of school by the ICE officers. I think it came down to a case of like some people, like I said, was not criminals. They're not criminals, right? But they get scooped up with the criminals, right? So some people, however you look at it. So basically, the deportation thing or the immigration thing, if you are coming over properly and you got the papers, is different, right? If you are born over in a country, which is another thing, like he said, right now they're doing by birthright. How American are you? North Korea survival rate to make it out of prison is slim. Yeah, exactly. So it's quite a crazy thing, right? So when I saw that and I saw how distressed the children was, like there was videos of the children looking all distressed, the parents very worried. They even stopped their work. They didn't want to go to work in case they get pulled out of work. There was a guy who was doing construction. The ICE pulled up to where he was working, and pulled him out of the work, took him away. Like, so some people are very scared because some people's had bad experiences with all sorts, cartel, all sorts of things. So I'm just like, yeah. Hi, Fundi, you right? So it's just when someone's talking about birthright, what's it? Diversity, exclusion, inclusion, right? Which in most cases, when you go to work, that was one of the things that got to be There's got to be in every place where you work. The policy's got to have the diversity, inclusion, something. Also, the diversity, inclusion, which is what now? And I keep referring to Target and Walmart, what they did where they took out the black products, right? The majority of black products was removed, right? The hair creams, whatever they were doing. I live in Texas. It's not as bad as it seems on TV. They are arresting about 100 people per state per day. Is it? Really? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, Fundy. That's like every day they scoop up like 100 people. That is a putting a dent in the problem. Well, yeah, yes. But but it's like he's thinking by doing that solving it. Some of them has been going through the process. One lady literally broke down. She was literally nearing the process, and the thing they took it off the table. They took it off the table. The thing what she was using so that she can be legal in the country. She literally broke down in tears. See, I could find it. I could find it now. The lady broke down in tears. There was a process that they were going through. And the lady, she was going through it. She just about nearing the ending of it. And then it got taken off the table where she can be legal working in the country or whatever she's got to do. I can't even find it now. And the lady broke down and see, I could find it. And they were asking her, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" They kept saying to her, "Are you okay?" Because I think they sent some to Mexico. What's that? 11 days ago. So it's the same thing with like what they were doing with the Stockholm barge over here, where they was going to pile them on in there and send them to Rwanda. That's what they was going to do. So a lot of people were scared. Can't even find it now. Can't find it. No, can't find it. Can't find it. Maybe when I'm looking for it, I'll come across it. Let them offer money, and I will turn in a few myself. Oh, Bundy, did you just say that? Bundy. It's just crazy. It's just like, but yeah, it's scary. ICE and the Tsar. Did I add Tsar? Yeah, I did. I did the Tsar on the thing. I might have to change my thumbnail, I think. I don't even know where my thumbnail represents what I just said just then. Only ones I feel bad for is the children and the mothers of their children, not the fake caretakers of the children you are escorting. Yeah, I remember an illegal told my child he should be happy they set us free. Is it? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had a real great conversation with someone in the comment section. It was really interesting to hear, and I was like, Fundy. but it's like, yeah, it's madness to me, really. Maybe because I've seen it over here. I think because like we got touched with that a little bit more. That's why the students was protesting. One guy unalived 3 schoolgirls, and they turned the countries crazy. But the guy who did it, he had something wrong with him. So they was going to where the immigrants was, and they was trying to set fire to the building, because long time ago over here in Ladbroke Grove, was it longer time, couple months, there was a building where the immigrants were staying, and the cladding got set fire to, somehow caught fire, and all those who was immigrants was inside of there, and then a couple days later, somebody burns an effigy of the cladded building because some of them was here working legally. Not all of them was illegal. At this point, the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. I hear you on that, but it's quite sad, you know what I mean? But the trafficking of the children, that's a serious thing because they can say, okay, right, we are here because we are immigration, blah, de, blah, de, blah, scoop up a couple children. I'm kind of glad that guy followed them to wherever, right? So, man. But anyways, I've been on here like 2 hours. I keep doing 2-hour lives. It's a 2-hour lives now. I'm supposed to be on here an hour. So I'm going to come off. Because I had a cold and I literally want to go eat some peppery something right now. But yeah, because even over here, look, as much blood as my own family has shed, so others can get the benefits that we still can't. Black women were serious when we said enough is enough. Yeah, it's true. Because even over here, like I said, right, there was a migration. Some of they was asked to come here. The Caribbeans was asked to come to this country. And then later on, there was a Windrush scandal where, like, they was blocking people. Some people, like the veteran guy who worked in the army, and there was giving him problems with his papers and certain stuff, and he got put in a deportation center. There was another guy who got put in a deportation center, and it was something wrong with his papers, and it wasn't down to him. I'm gonna have to find the story, but it wasn't down to him, I don't think. So there's those situations. But like, if you are here to work in the country, that's different. Like, you know, because like the country expects you to give to the economics first, then you give to the outside economics after. So it's like you're feeding the wolf, the thingy. America has always imported Europeans. That's how this all began. Yeah. So it's, you know, but if I feel that I got to cover more of it, I will do it. I'll watch more Americans lose their homes and lose everything, and those people who break the law to come here and get taken care of. That's the same thing Alex said. Taken care of. Look it up. The numbers are out. I'll go look it up. Well, it's just crazy the way how it was moving. But there was some like who was doing the farmings and stuff like that, who was feeding in, doing the farms and all that. Go about the farms and all that stuff, and the agriculture side of it. So so I don't know what else to say on that. Really, I don't want to waffle. So I will do another live. I think I've got to restructure my thumbnail again. I'm gonna have to change it up again. Because I was going to talk about, there was a march here last weekend, and the fascists, I think I spoke about already, fascism is on a rise over here. I'm not racist. I believe we need to take care of our own before we can help others. That's fair. Right? That's fair. But yeah, this fascism is raising up over here. The riot is raising up over here. The riot is raising up in certain countries. And like, history can repeat itself. That's how I look at it, like that. Like, people keep talking about sending people back to the plantations and all this talk. See, all that talk, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's on the rise everywhere. It's global. Yes, it is. It is global. It is global. Very much so. So, yeah. But I am going to come off, and I'll see you guys another time. I'm supposed to do one about Velvet, but I don't even know whether I'm going to have time to do that today. For Velvet irked me today. Or if not, I'll just go and come back. Thank you, Alex, for coming through. Where's native? Native, Passionisa, and Fundi. Oh, someone's written something new. And Fundi. Did you write something new? Did I miss something? All around the world, the same song. Yes. Take care of your own. Yes. Not in Israel. They have a wall and a dome thing. The east will fall. Huh? I heard that as well. So I'm gonna come off, guys, and I'll see you another time. And see, I'm saying guys now. You know, like you pick up little things. You know, when you're around certain chats, you pick up their lingo. Oh, so yeah. So I'll see you. See you lot later. If I have to come up and do Velveeta, I don't know. I might have to. I don't know if I should do Velveeta this way or I should do it the other way that I do it. If I have to come back and do Velveeta, because that's another problem there. Who's living in a cycle? But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. So I'll see you later. I might come back after I've had something to eat. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.